Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Anime Podcast channel. My name is Benji, and today we're gonna talk about some fuego, some fire, all of it. We're gonna talk about all of it today. Today we're gonna talk about chapter 1023 of One Piece, Two Peas in a Pod. And before I get into anything, I just want to give a real brief shout out to all the people who were so supportive of my last chapter review for One Piece. I want to start doing these weekly. I'm going to try my best. Kind of bear with me, but I had to talk about this chapter because it was so great. But with that being said, let's get straight into this chapter review. So we start off the chapter with a cover page. Basically, the cover page is Karu, Vivi's bird, looking jealous at Vivi singing with several sparrows. It's a cover request page. I thought it was pretty cute. Like I said, it has nothing really to do with the story, like any of the nail couple pages that we've gotten before, or anything like nice to see with like old villains as far as like Senior Pink. I know that we got that a long time ago. But with that being said, it's actually kind of nice to see stuff like this where like cover request pages are actually being fulfilled. So I think that's pretty dope. So we start off the chapter with the aftermath of last chapter, where both Sanji and Zoro did a simultaneous attack. Sanji did his mutton attack, as well as Zoro doing his purgatory attack. Both of them, seemingly doing some damage to both King and Queen, the calamities of the Beast Pirate. And later we get Chopper. Basically, he comments on Zoro's status as far as health-wise. Now, if you guys remember, and I reiterated this in the last chapter review, Sanji, as of right now, he's taking a pill from the minks, basically. And the medicine, what it does is it will heal you, yet the pain that you felt before will be doubled once you are out of this state of, heal. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. But as of right now, I mean, there's no other way that we can defeat Queen and King in order to have that big battle kind of be fulfilled at the end of the chapter. So here's my take on it. I feel like, is it going to be pain to where he was on Thriller Bark, like that kind of pain, where Kuma's like, hey, I want you to take Luffy's pain and your pain and your despair and all of this, accumulated one, like all into like a little ball, and I'm gonna just give it to you. I don't think it's going to be like that, but I don't know. We'll see. So both King and Queen are both laying on the floor, and then we get a cut to Kiwamatsu. Basically, Kiwamatsu, he sees one of the Beast Pirates trying to take out Zoro after the attack that both Zoro and Sanji did on some lame sneak stuff, and then basically he takes him out with his sword pretty easily. And then we get a little bit of dialogue between Kiwamatsu as well as Hyogoro. Now, the reaction to what's kind of been going on in this battle is, especially Marco kind of setting the tone for how everything is supposed to go. These are the star players of the show. So basically, Hyogoro and Kiwamatsu, they're basically like, yo, we got to make sure that we leave all distractions, out of here. We got to take out all the distractions, all the people who are trying to ruin this battle, because at the end of the day, we got to do anything that we can to support the Sanji and Zoro. So, that's kind of how that goes. I really like Hyogoro. I like his powers as well. But there's that. So then we briefly cut to Marco as he's remembering a conversation that he actually once had with his former captain, Whitebeard. He remembers a certain conversation where he reiterates about a long time ago about a place above the red line known as the God's Land. Now, with that being said, we actually got mention of a God Valley incident from Sengoku in chapter 957 of One Piece. Basically, the conflict was between the Rocks Pirates, that was consisting of Big Mom, Kaido, and Whitebeard, versus the Goldie Roger Pirates with the accompaniment of Garp. Now, this conflict we know almost nothing about. We know that the Celestial Dragons were literally able to wipe this from history books as well as geographical maps. So no one on this planet knows where God Valley is to this day. But why is that? And why does Whitebeard know of such a land in the first place? Well, this is what I think. I literally think that this was the original land of the gods. The celestial dragons were able to kick out not only the original gods as well as Joy Boy from existence, or at least they wanted to suppress it as much as they can. So right now the celestial dragons are right on top of Marie's Wall, right on top of the Red Line, but the original divine people, these people of this god land, were the original settlers of this place. And I think that maybe during the conflict, maybe it was about some kind of information about the Void Century, or something that has to do with rocks, as well as Goldie Roger. Now, if we're going to go even more into the rabbit hole, I think this is the reason, this is the thing that Shanks is actually looking for. Maybe he's looking for the actual divine people that were once settled within God Valley, or this God land. But I don't know. This is just a bit of like a brain, me just kind of giving my thoughts out. But I want to know what you guys think. Okay, so then we move on to a scene where basically Queen and King, basically they tell Sanji and Zoro that shit didn't phase them. Like that shit barely hurt, which is funny. But I like the fact that happened, because I don't want this battle to be easy for Sanji and Zoro. I want a lot of this to be tooth for nail, really like grinding gears, because I feel like that's going to make the calamities, like building up the calamities the way they have been built throughout the story. You can't have them just one shot, Queen and King. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be kind of so anticlimactic if that was to happen. So I don't want that to happen, but we'll see what happens a little bit later on. So yeah, basically King and Queen basically reiterate, like, you're not gonna be able to take us out with such weak attacks. We're the all stars. We're the calamities. Like, we don't, we the big dogs. You know what I'm saying? Like, like fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I'm just kidding. Anyways, then we get a panel where Zoro notices something about Sanji that's very telling. He basically says, hey, are you alright? And then Sanji reiterates to him that he feels a little bit funny after wearing his raid suit for the second time. Now, I do have a very, very, very good theory on this, and I may be reaching. I do have a very, very, very good theory on this, but I may be reaching a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see. But I do want to kind of, like see where your guys' heads at. Now, here's my theory about the raid suit theory. I feel like the raid suit itself, and this is maybe a far reach, so please don't crucify me in the comments. But I think that the raid suit initially, it was designed under the impression that Sanji was a human. I think the reason that it's feeling so weird to him now is the fact that I do still think he's a human, but I think either one or two things. Either, and I'll kind of get more into this later on in the chapter review, but either Sanji has some latent abilities from his experiments that Judge was doing on his children, or Sanji still has lineage from his mother on his mother's side, being a distant member of this fire conjuring race that it seems that King is a part of. Now, with that being said, do I know which one? I'm not sure. And I wonder why Oda put this in now, because this is because Sanji has been fighting a good amount, after wearing the raid suit, because he hasn't put on the raid suit for a little while, other than when he saved Momonosuke. But other than that, I think I really want to see kind of what are you guys' impressions of that, like what's going to happen with that. I'm really curious about that, to be honest. So after that, we get a funny interaction where Zoro suggests that is it his curly eyebrows? And then Sanji says, "No, it's not. It's my body, you moron." And I really do love. I know a lot of people, like I said, I feel like One Piece fans need to get out of this bag where they think Sanji is like so far gone from Zoro and Luffy. Like it doesn't really make sense to me, especially like in this context where, and it even, here's the thing, it even shows in this chapter where we get a beautiful interaction with both Zoro and Sanji, and after that we get a super dope moment where King comes in and tries to attack Sanji, because I guess he feels like he's weakened at that point or whatever, and then Zoro comes out of nowhere and like, he basically blocks the attack from King, and Zoro says, you owe me for this, basically. After that, Queen, Zoro notices at the corner of his eye that he's about to get attacked by Queen, and then Sanji comes back and says, now we're even. And I think that those are those moments that Oda likes to put in, personally, that I I think he likes to put those in to kind of show that, no matter the banter that goes between Zoro and Sanji, they always have some kind of level of synchronization when it comes to fighting. Like, they know how to have each other's back, and it kind of ties in more into the Straw Hats themselves. But Sanji and Zoro, they've always been butting heads. But when it comes to combat, they know they've got each other's back. They can trust each other. Now we start getting into the crazy shit. So now, after that, Queen actually remembers that Sanji is one of Judge's kids. Now, Queen states to Sanji that, it's very odd that you're able to conjure up fire. It must be some kind of fire augmentation that Judge was able to do to you through experiments. Now, here's where it gets kind of crazy. So Sanji rejects the claim, and Queen says, "Are you stupid? What kind of human can burst into flames? It's not like you're a Linearian." Now, then after that, we get a nice little side by side of King looking over, giving a side eye, and then you get the little dot dot dot. Now, with that being said, this plays into a lot of things that we're going to see hopefully later on about King and his lineage. Now here's the thing that raises so many questions for Sanji. Now, either one of two things. Either he's leaning more towards being a Linearian, one of the chosen ones of God's land, or at least a descendant of God's of the Godlands, basically that culture, that clan of individuals who are able to conjure up fire, or he literally has some kind of Judge was able to extract some kind of DNA from a Linearian and was able to put it in the Sanji, and now he's had latent like powers this whole time he's been alive. Now, big shout out to Red God on Discord. If you guys aren't tuned into our Discord, please tune into our One Piece Discord. We have Jujutsu, One Piece, Tokyo Revengers. We talk about everything in our Discord. I'm gonna leave the link in the bio. Go ahead and check that out. Big shout out to Red God. He made it very clear of him remembering, actually, there was a time in Thriller Bark, especially when Nami was supposedly about to get married. So once this happens, Sanji erupts, and there's a huge pit of fire that's just engulfed around him. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people were thinking, okay, maybe that's a little bit of comic relief. But if you see the scars on Sanji's body, they're actual burn marks that he actually has from like raging. Now, with that being said, I do think that in some way, shape, or form, I feel like Sanji is a distant descendant of these people of God, this fire conjuring, God race, that King seems to be a part of as well. Now, with that being said, I don't think that Sanji is going to fight King at all. I think it's going to stay within, the constructs of him fighting Queen, which makes more sense. King seems more of Zoro's speed. But I don't know. I really thought that was interesting. I really do think Sanji may be a descendant of this god land race, or this fire conjuring race. It will make a lot of sense in the grand scheme of things as well. Now, moving on, we then cut to a scene of Zoro and King fighting, and their interaction is pretty dope. They're fighting, they're getting into it, and then we have a very interesting conversation between Kiwamatsu as well as Hirogoro. Basically, they're stating that Zoro reminds them of the daimyo of Ringo, Shimotsuki Yushimaru, who was a direct descendant of the god of the sword, Shimatsuki Ryuma. And then Kiwamatsu says this, and this kind of blew my mind, because I feel like this chapter itself was literally like fan service for both Zoro and Sanji fans. Kiwamatsu then says, after all, Ryuma was a one-eyed swordsman. Now, we still don't know what the deal with Zoro's eye, or how he got it, or whether or not he has a secret Sharingan, or whatever the fuck it is. But the thing about it is, this in and of itself actually details so many things that may happen within the story of One Piece, or at least as far as Zoro's lineage. We really have not gotten too much backstory on where Zoro's from, or Zoro's, his descendants himself. But it's looking more and more that he may be a incarnation of Ryuma, or maybe a past lineage for Ryuma. And I kind of like this because it's showing that Sanji has some kind of distant background with the land of gods. Zoro has this distant background with the god of swords. So when we're coming back to it, it's all kind of coming into a head where the monster trio themselves is all getting some kind of direction in which they can be taking their powers to, or their abilities to. More so Sanji than Zoro. We've seen the power that Zoro is able to be capable of. He's really like, a beast. So, but Sanji, we need some dope moments from Sanji. I 100% believe we're going to get him very soon. And one more thing that I want to reiterate, this thing of lineage between Sanji and Zoro, I feel like we're going to get a little bit more and more, especially once we get to this Kaido fight where Kaido and Luffy are going to have their third rematch or whatnot. And at this point in time, seeing that Sanji may be a fire conjuring descendant, and seeing Zoro being this god of swords descendant, it's really leading things into some exciting territory, especially for Zoro and Sanji fans. But the thing about it is, knowing in the back of our minds that this isn't even the peak for both Sanji and Zoro, that we're just scratching the surface of some of the things that they may be possible or potentially be able to do later on in the series, especially once we get to that crazy big war that Oda kind of reiterated earlier, I believe a couple years ago, where he said that the biggest war is going to happen after Wano, wherever that may be, whether that be through Elbaf or Rijwa. I'll probably do a video on what is to come after Wano, but I'll say that for another video. So then we get a cut to Dogstorm. So Dogstorm is actually fighting Jack. Now, if you guys don't know who Jack is, Jack was the bitch ass who went to Zou and basically messed up all of Zou in order to find Raizo, one of the scabbards. Now, here's my problem with Jack. Jack is a bitch ass. I mean, no, but seriously, like, the thing that I really liked about Dogstorm, if you're gonna have somebody, bro, if you're gonna have somebody who's down to the grounds, who's really like, okay, like, you can go ahead and fight us, you can look all around this place, but I'm not gonna rat out my homie, I'm not gonna rat out my friend. Dogstorm, Cat Viper, the Minks are some real, like they real, like, they ain't on no 6ix9ine type shit, you feel me? Like, they solid. On a serious note, I feel like Dogstorm, especially this chapter, really shined. Basically he's fighting Jack, and then at a moment in time he actually is able to appear at the moon, like, and we all know that the Minks, once they're exposed to moonlight, they actually transform into their Sulong forms. And then we get Dogstorm Sulong form, and it's super dope. Okay, so then we have a cut to Nekomomoshi. Now, Nekomomoshi, if you guys don't know, is about to take out Peril Sparrow. I want everyone to say hashtag Peril Sparrow pack in the chat, in the comments, cause that nigga. Seriously, like, Peril Sparrow is honestly one of the biggest bitch asses. I put him up there with Orochi. I put him up there with who else? I put him up there with what's his name? What's his name? I got nothing on a name. Come on, baby, what's the name? We threw out his name! Conjuro, yeah. Up there with Conjuro, like, supreme bitch ass. But hey, I'm telling you guys, all the One Piece fans, we're about to be smoking on that Peril Sparrow pack. That pack is gonna be delicious. Yeah, we all getting on it. Packs. But yeah, we get to this panel basically. Nekomomoshi and Peril Sparrow about to fight. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be indulging in that pack. And then after that, we cut to Raizo and Fuku. I don't really care about this nigga. Like, I'm tired of seeing his earlobes, dangling and, slapping. So I don't know. I don't give a fuck about that. Now, to finish off the chapter, we get this beautiful, beautiful interaction with Shinobu. Shinobu is the ninja within Wano who's kind of been helping out, as well as the scabbards. we get this beautiful iteration. Now, if you guys don't know, she has a power where she's able to age individuals. Now, if you guys don't know, Momonosuke at this point in time is really supposed to be 28 years old. He was brought into the future in order to, fulfill the prophecy of opening up Wano like his dad wanted, as well as the Scabbards. So, and to remove Kaido from power. Now, the thing about it is, at this point in time, Momonosuke needs to grow up in order for him to rise Luffy to the top of Onigashima, in order for Luffy to finally go to the final battle with Kaido, as well as Yamato. We don't know the status of Yamato right now. I'm interested to see what's kind of happening there, but it's very interesting on that part. But with that being said, we cut to this flashback of when Shinobu was actually transforming Momonosuke into older version of himself, the 28-year-old. And the thing that's really crazy is, she states that you look just like ... basically implying that he looks so much like his father, Odin. And Odin was such a great man, especially from the flashback that we got. He was such a great individual within the One Piece world that it's kind of like one of those things that kind of pulls on your heartstring, especially seeing Shinobu cry. But I don't know, it was so dope. It was so dope to see that. And then after that, we finish off with we finished off with some heat. We finished off the chapter with an adult Momonosuke. We don't see his face though. We finish off the chapter with an adult Momonosuke as a dragon. Beautiful dragon that I'm pretty sure was foreshadowed by Oda a long time ago. And Luffy just standing right in front of him. And Luffy and Momonosuke, they both agree. They're like, hey, are you ready? Let's go do this. Let's go take care of Kaido. Let's go open up Wano. Let's go free Wano. And that's the end of the chapter. There's so much stuff to kind of unpack from this chapter itself. I really want to know the situation with Sanji's lineage, whether or not his lineage is divergent of his distant descendants of this godland race, the Linearians, or whether or not he's simply a Linearian. He has Linearian genes within his DNA. What do you think about the Sanji being able to be a fire conjurer? What do you think about Zoro being a descendant, possibly, of the god of swords, Ryuma? Let me know any kind of comments or any kind of theories that you guys have. We have dope discussions in our Discord. Go ahead and join our Discord. Join all of our social medias: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all of them. With that being said, I really love you guys. Thank you for all the love and support, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Peace.